Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about my new tattoo, my experience, pain level, all the research I had done, and if you're thinking about getting a tattoo, just like what it would be like, I guess. I don't know, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, so not that many people know why I got my tattoo, like a rose, like everyone gets a rose. But I decided to get a rose tattoo because my mom had told me that, well, my great-grandmother had passed away when I was in like middle school, and I was very close with her. And for some reason, whenever I would see her or envision her, I would envision a rose. Oh my god, there's like birds that just flew. And I never knew why I kept imagining both of them together. I was like, I don't know. Well, I told my mom, and she was like, oh, how'd you know? And I was like, no, what? And that my great-grandmother had named me Rose as my baptismal name. So my full name is actually Callie Alexis Rose Arias. That's my full name. I just don't put Rose on anything that I write because it's very long, and it's just, but that's my full legal name, I guess, because a lot of my family is very religious and they like for that to be a part of my name. So that's why I got my Rose, because one of my names is Rose, so that's why I decided to get a rose. And also for my great-grandmother, because she was a very tough woman. We had like a close bond, and it was hard when she passed away, and I want to be like her. She was such a strong, like, independent woman, and whenever I see it, I think of her, and to be like that strong woman, like, because she had a lot of kids, like 7 or 8. I don't know. My mom's dad has a lot of brothers and sisters, and she raised a big family, and I have a lot of family everywhere in the freaking US. But yeah, that's why I got my rose for her. So every time I look down on it, I think of her and that I can be a strong person. So yeah. So I knew I wanted to get a tattoo a little before I had graduated, and at first I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get something little right here, just simple, nothing too big. Well, I had been doing a lot of research, and the beginning of my senior year, my friend had gave me a card, and he was like, oh, if you want to get a tattoo, you should go to this place. And I was like, okay, well, I'll check it out. And I had lost the card, so I just forgot the name, forgot everything. I didn't even look at it. And then I started doing like research on the internet. Like, I wanted to make sure I found like the right place, the right artist. Like, I wanted to make sure that something like this is permanent. Like, I want it to be good, and I want it to be what's, you know, envisioned in my head, and like what you want, you know. And when I had been going online for like research, I had been looking through my photos on my laptop, and I had taken a picture of the card, and I had found it, and I was like, oh, it's this place. It's called Fortune Brothers Tattoo Company. And I was like, okay, well, let me look it up. So I looked it up, and that had actually had been one of the places that I had been researching. I had like clicked on it, and I had saved that page, and then that's when I found the card, and I went back to it, and I looked deeper into it. And then I had found the artist. Her name was Crystal, and I was like, oh, okay, like, let me look at her work and see if I like it. Well, I had looked at all her work, and I was like, okay, yeah. I found her on Instagram. I went through her Instagram. I was like, you know what? This is a girl. Like, I want to have my tattoo. Like, this is who I want. Like, I don't want anyone else. I want her. So I guess I waited a little bit to save up money, of course, and then graduate, and just kind of like wait until the summer to get my tattoo. That way I had more free time to like pick out what I wanted and stuff like that. So I had saved her Instagram, and when I was ready, one day I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go get my tattoo. I've been wanting it for a long time because I originally wanted to get it on my birthday. That didn't happen. And then I was like, oh, once I graduated, then it happened. But then it's like summer kind of came around, and I was like, you know what, like, I have money, like, I'm just gonna get it. So I had looked at her Instagram, and she had moved to a different tattoo place, and I was like, oh shoot, like, what the heck. So I looked up the new tattoo place that she went to, and I was like, okay, well, this is where it's at. It was a little closer because the other one was like really far. And the one I went to was on Days of Allah, and I was like, oh, well, I should go there. It's a little closer, like, I know where it's at. So I ended up going with a friend from my work because she had wanted to get something done too. But she didn't end up getting anything done, so we're just going to go back again anyway because I'm going to get like more things done to it. So then on my own, I had did a whole bunch of errands that day, and I went into the place, and I was like, okay, well, I walked in the place, it looked really nice, and then there was a guy, he's like, oh, how can I help you? And I'm like, oh, I think there's a girl, her name's Crystal, she works here, I want to make an appointment with her. And there's also like a girl like sitting there, and she like turned her chair around, she's like, hi, I'm Crystal. And I was like, oh, I think someone's home. Oh no. And I was like, oh, hi, like, I want to make an appointment with you, like, I've seen you on Instagram, like, been watching you for a while, like, I want you to do my tattoo. And she's like, okay, well, it's gonna be your first one. I'm like, yes, it is. And she's like, okay, well, let's set up an appointment and do this. And she was like, okay, well, how's next Tuesday? And I think I had gone like Wednesday or Thursday, and she was like, how about like next Tuesday? And I was like, yeah, like, that's fine. I didn't think that it was gonna happen so quick. Well, I heard already, she had asked me to put a down payment first while making the schedule, and I told her what I wanted, and she was like, okay, well, here's the appointment, and then I have to put you down for a fee, like half of it now and then the rest later, because it does take away her time from like sketching the piece that I want, and also like her appointment, you know. So I had to do that first, and then I came back that Tuesday. I think it was at 2 or 3 I had my appointment. I think it was at 2. And so I had gone in, and she was like, okay, well, she was like, here's your sketch, tell me what you think, I can change it. And the first sketch she had, I didn't really like it. It had a lot of like, it looked like spider-like on a floor. I don't know, I didn't like it at first. And then I was like, well, like, I had wanted something like this, and I showed her like a picture, like a live picture of a rose, and she's like, okay, I can work with this. And she redid something else. And at first I had wanted the tattoo like not like maybe like half of this, like I don't know, I had only wanted it like a little bit right here. I think I just wanted it right here. I didn't think I was gonna get this whole thing, but the sketch she had laid out for me, she was like, okay, so this is what we're looking at, and it just had a whole bunch of detail, and I really liked it. And I was like, okay, you know what? And I put it against my arm, like the paper copy, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, let's do it. I didn't think that I was gonna get like a big piece, but it just looked nice on my arm, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it, and you know what happens happens. So she goes and cleans the room, and then so I'm waiting in the room, and she does the outline first or whatever. And she's like, okay, like, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette, and then we'll come back and start. Well, me and my friend were waiting, and this lady had came in, like, trying to sell, like, fake flowers and makeup. And she came, and she sat down the box on the chair that I was supposed to be laying down on. And the girl had came back from outside. She's like, ma'am, you can't be in here. Like, she's like, I just sterilized the whole room. Like, you need to get out. And then one of the other guys that was there, he was like, ma'am, like, you need to get out. Like, it was crazy. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I didn't know. Like, she just came in and sat the box down. Like, I didn't know. And she's like, no. She's like, I'm gonna clean the whole room again. So she ended up cleaning, like, the whole entire room again. And, like, sterilizing it, because she was very, like, and like, very sterile and clean. Like, she's like, I need to make sure that she was legit, obviously. Like, the fact that she would clean the whole thing just from a box laying down, like, you know, like, she's for real, you know. So then she sterilized it, and then she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have you lay down, because usually, you know, girls might pass out or faint, and especially it was my first time. And she was like, I don't know how you're gonna react. And I was like, okay, yeah, like, I think I want to lay down and then I'll get up slowly and like to see how I feel. Well, you know, then she laid me down and she's like, okay, you ready? And I'm like, yeah. So start going in, and at first, like, it's like a sting, I guess you can say. It's kind of hard to describe. Like, every person has to experience something like that on your own because you take it differently than someone else. Everyone has different experiences, so this is just mine, but it was just like a kind of a stinging sensation, and you could obviously feel that someone was carving in your skin, and it did feel like a burn, itching, pain, and it took about an hour and 15 minutes, but we had like other distractions coming in. It's like we could never get started, and so it took about an hour and like 15 minutes to finally like do this whole piece, because it actually has like a lot of detail. Like with all these, like she had to take a smaller needle and go in, or like and she did fading, and so obviously like it had to take a while. Like it was very detailed. It wasn't just something tiny real quick. And after a while, through that hour, I just laid down the whole time. I ended up getting up. I was like, no, I just want to lay down and get it over with, because I was kind of in a lot of pain. And I had noticed that my legs were even shaking. Like, my friend was kind of worried because my legs were shaking, but I was taking it like, I mean, I took it like, I said, I gotta go in there and take it like a man, you know, but that's what I did. And I remember the thing that hurt the most was when she carved like that, I don't know if you can even see, it's like the center piece, she did like the little like center of it, like that's what hurt the most. I was like, oh my god. I was like, shit. I was like, it hurts, like, oh my god. From like a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably like an 8 or a 9, like, or, yeah, 8 or 9, like it was, oh my god. But now that I got used to it, my arm actually like went numb, and I was like, I can't feel it. So after a while, like I didn't even feel it anymore, and I was able to tolerate it. Like, I guess that's the good part. I was able to tolerate it, but it did hurt like a lot. But the fact that I was able to get through it, it's not that bad. But I think if we had gone on any longer, like I probably would have said no, like let's stop, like. And even the lady that was doing it, Crystal, she was like, oh, like I'm really impressed. Like in the back of my mind, I was like wondering how much of this I was actually gonna get done, because you're a first timer and most first timers don't usually get something like this. And she's like, I'm actually like really impressed, and like I thought you were gonna tap out. And I was like really proud that she said that, you know. But yeah, I took it like a champ, you know. And now like that I have gotten this and I know what it feels like, I kind of want to get a lot of more things done. But maybe not as like obvious, because this is kind of, because I serve food, so when I pass out plates, like it's like hello, like it's right there. And depending on what kind of job or like business you want to go to, like this is something I'm gonna have to like hide or cover up depending on like the job, because this is not appropriate for stuff like that. But I don't regret it. Like when I was driving home, I looked at it, I started crying because I was so proud of myself, because this is something that I had wanted done, and the fact that I had gone through something so painful, like my mom was like doubting me, and the fact that I came home with it, she was like, wow, like I'm really impressed, like, you know, like you did good. And I was like, yeah, you know. But my family kind of was very shocked. They were like, oh my god, like I thought it was gonna be a little thing. And yeah, but at this point it's like I don't care, and they're starting to like accept it, because like honestly, like I can't get rid of it, like it's now like a part of me. So yeah, but yeah, I don't regret it at all. I'm really like thankful that I was able to like go through with it and nothing happened. And I do want to get more stuff, but it's gonna be hidden, I guess. I know I want to get something on the back of like, not my neck, but like my back kind of. And then I think I want to get like a thigh one as well, because those you can kind of hide versus something like this. I know I for sure want to get, I do want to get pieces instead of like little detailed ones. I kind of want to get like full on pieces, like I don't know, but I know like later on I want to get one on my thigh. I think that one would be like later on, maybe when I'm like 20 or 21, that I'm gonna get like my next piece. Like I think I'm gonna wait a while to get my next whatever I get, because I know I want to get something on my back. But I think I'm going to wait, because one is a lot to take care of, and so I'm still like putting different stuff. Like at first she put this bandage on my arm, and she's like, okay, like leave it on for 3 days. And the type of bandage she put on was like a clear saran wrap, but it wasn't saran wrap. It was something that she was like, they use this for burn victims for their skin to heal. And I was like, oh, okay, well, she obviously knew what she was doing, and you know, but honestly, like, I took it off on day 2. Like, it was hurting, like tightening my skin. Like, I didn't like how it felt, and I was like, you know what, like, I'm gonna take it off. And I took it off, and I just started like moisturizing it, and using like a regular body wash for it in the shower. And I started using this lotion. I don't even know if it's good to use. I just bought like a jelly like thing at, because it's a Vaseline brand, so I was like, okay, well, Vaseline lotion, I don't know, but this one worked fine for me. I mean, I think any lotion that you use for your tattoo should be fine as long as it's like a just generic clean healing one. So once I took off the bandage, I just put moisture, like I would moisturize my arm at least like 3 times a day. Like whenever I put lotion on my hands, I would just go ahead and rub it in. And the thing I didn't like about the wrap she had put on my leaves, you probably can't even tell, but on my leaves the ink kind of squirted out. So there's like, man, it's so hard. I don't think y'all can see that. Like right there, like it like inked up, and I was like, oh, like maybe it'll wash off, but it kind of, like you can see where the lines are from the bandage. So she told me if I wanted to go back that she would like touch it up, and I don't know how she'd fix that, but other than that, everything else on the tattoo looks good. It's just those 3 leaves that I'm kind of like annoyed with, but I'm definitely gonna go back and she's gonna touch it up. That was like the one thing I didn't like. So now I still like moisturize it as regular with this, just basic lotion, and then sometimes I'll put I think once or twice a day I'll put on the Aquaphor. It's just like a gel. It's literally like a healing gel for like cracked skin, and it's supposed to rejuvenate, you know. So I just like rub that in sometimes when I feel like it's getting dry, but I haven't had any like problems with it. Like I've gotten a lot of compliments, and I'm really proud that I got it. So what else? Yeah, but I think that's it for this video. I'm glad you guys watched. This is something kind of different, because I always do makeup, so I want to kind of venture out to different stuff, maybe just like life, I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you have any questions, or if you want the girl's information. I have her Instagram, and you can make an appointment if you want to get a tattoo. But yeah, just let me know if you guys have any questions, and thank you for watching this video. Bye.